I think India's biggest soft power is craftsmanship and karigari, as we call it, which means made by hand. And we have the most incredible, skilled human hands in the world that have been trained through generations to just do that one embroidery, just do that one wood carving, just do that one marble inlay. And what I started seeing is that as generations come, these crafts get more and more obsolete because there's no one contemporizing it for them. And I think crafts need contemporary edge to become relevant for the society we live in. I wanted to be the voice that contemporizes crafts and brings it to the next generation and globalizes it in a way that you see it from a different lens. You start noticing the handmade quality, the beauty in it. Deep inside, I always wanted to be an artist, but architecture drew me because it had a feeling of more permanence compared to everything else I wanted to do. And I like the idea of scale. I like the idea of monumentality. The good thing about architecture is it gives you a worldview perspective on art, design, culture. It makes you travel with an architect's eye, where you start looking at things from the beginning. You want to know where it started. And I think that's where my interest in craft started. But as I was traveling through the length and breadth of India, I started realizing the depth of craft practices that actually were completely forgotten. I started looking at vessels, toys, objects lined on the markets of India, piled up as small mementos, small objects that people use and eventually discard. And loss of functionality became a big part of it. And I think that made me start thinking how I can start using this as a starting point. Copper is Taamr, also closest to the Indian skin color, and also used as medicinal. Copper is very medicinal in Indian Ayurveda, and that's what I actually love the most. And so what we did is, before the show, we studied a lot of vessels in copper, a lot of elements that kind of bring not only the metal, but the rootedness of the color within other crafts. And that's why you see the Chana Patna in brown, which has never been done before. And again, in mirror, we started working with the idea of broken mirror put together to create a mosaic that kind of almost embodies metal, a metallic feel. Actually, one of the first crafts I actually delved in is craft in South India, Karnataka, called Chana Patna, which is a toy-making village of India. So as children, we used to play with these toys all the time. And so we wanted to create this project where we start working with these incredible craftspeople, and we start working on a bead-making process. And for the first 3 years, we were only trying to master the bead-making process. In time, we realized that we've collected so much that it was now time to create these mirrors and these lights and different things that actually had more depth in the meaning. The color comes through beeswax lacquer, so the color that you actually imagine is sometimes very far from where it starts. And that's the real beauty, because the village crafts will give you their own raw material, and that produces their own tonalities, and we have to work around them, and that was the beauty of it. Although I must say there was a lot of pushback from the village crafts initially, because obviously they thought there's someone here to exploit you. But I think that over time has become completely redundant for me, and now we work with them as family. Another found object that we've been working, and not object, actually found seeds that we've been working with, is Rudraksh. And these are actually seeds that you find in the Himalayas, the mountainous region of India. They're used for multiple things, and they're also medicinal. But what I love the most is when you go to the Kumbh Mela and you see the Naga Babas completely adorned by these, and it's so beautiful because it's a living form of art. Wabi Sabi India kind of embodied in their entire being, and that's what really inspired me, because I used to look at that and be like, this needs to be art, this is art. Moving that with brown Chana Patna created a beautiful play of finished with this raw, I would say, tension, how each one wraps into the other, and to stretch the beads out to reveal the mirror behind, and kind of look at yourself within that, so you feel you're part of that journey. Traveling to rural India, one always bumps into some incredible pieces, and you find some old stones, vessels, once used for storage, now completely redundant. The industrialization replaced them. So what we started doing is started collecting lots of them, and as we started collecting, we realized that some of these were made by the hammering process, some of them were welded together or screwed together, and the rest were cast. And we started realizing and understanding different regions of India. And now I started looking at them as sculptural objects, but what if I sliced them into half and created these kind of cabinets that created curiosity? And that's what you see. You see them as hourglasses, in a way talking of passage of time, but also kind of memorizing the functionality of storage. My journey with carpenters is very interesting because I have been looking at their program for a long time and completely in love with what they do. I like conversations that I've been having with them, especially with someone like Loic, who talks about this world in a very, very unique way. It's reassuring for artists like me to be in a bracketless world, and it gives me freedom. It makes me feel confident and gives us a foundation to do bigger stuff.